Hi guys, and welcome back to the Iron Personal Training YouTube channel. Today we're looking at my first training session back after the British Full Power Championships that took place a few weeks ago in July. So what we're focusing on here in this new block of training after comps is higher volume training. So because my comps over my last 2 years of powerlifting, competing in powerlifting, have actually been quite close together, we've really not had a great deal of time to have a true and proper off season. So this time we've got plenty of time to do a full off season, so we're going to be focusing on more higher volume training. So here we're doing low bar squats. We're doing 3 sets of 12, and it is the first time I have done 12s on squats in many years. So doing this, the weight, which is at 120 kilos, didn't actually ever feel like a problem, but the volume did definitely feel difficult. Getting towards those last reps, especially going over 8, definitely felt hard and definitely felt sick by the end of the last set of 12. Now, that just shows how my body has become de-trained to this kind of volume, as obviously when peaking for comps, you're looking really at triples, doubles or singles. So it's really nice to get this volume in and work on those weak areas that will have appeared within myself, because I've not been able to do this volume. So we did the standard squats first. Next we're coming on to some paused squats. Now we're going to do these slightly differently to normal pause squats, because what we're doing is we're going to add a pause on each time, a pause count on each time. So for the first rep, we're going to do a count pause of 1. For the second rep, we're going to do a pause count of 2, etc., all the way up to the 5th rep, where we'll be doing a pause count of 5. Now, for the first set of squats, we didn't have a belt on or any knee sleeves because I didn't feel like they were needed, and I wanted to work on some of the core benefits of not using my belt whilst doing those squats. But for this, we put the belt and the knee sleeves on just for a bit of protection on the knees while we're holding in the bottom position, and just so I can stay tight while we're in that bottom position as well, especially on the last reps where we're going to be doing a long pause. So these are really good, not only for creating power out the bottom of the squat, but also for me maintaining a good position while in the bottom of the squat. In my last competition, as you might have seen if you've watched any of the videos on my Instagram, I leant forward in the squat and lost my 3rd attempt. And this is something that I'm doing to try and combat that weakness, as well as other things you'll see in later videos. So as you can see, just adding that pause, weight moving nice. Like I say, 120 kilos isn't like a particularly heavy weight. It's around 55% of my 1 rep max. But by the time you get to the 5th rep with a 5 count pause, it really is starting to feel hard, especially after doing all the squat volume that I did to start with as well. So this is the last one, the 5 count pause. As you can see, it doesn't look like it took that long, but it honestly felt like it was a lifetime when you sat in the bottom, and you can just feel the pressure building. We then went on to some Dimmel deadlifts. We're doing 125 kilos, and we're doing 3 sets of 8. So the point of Dimmel deadlifts is to work on the top of the deadlift. This has always been the weakness in my deadlift, and really focus on getting those hips through and the shoulders back, and trying to move as quickly as possible. We then come on to some kneeling squats. Kneeling squats are one of my favourite hip exercises because it really mimics the hips going through as they would on a squat movement or on a deadlift as well. So really helping with that hip power. As you can see here, we're doing 100 kilos. These can be a bit awkward to set up, and you definitely want something fairly soft under your knees just to deal with some of the impact. But there we are, they were feeling really nice. And again, like I say, these are one of my favourite hip exercises to do, and if you've not done it, I definitely recommend giving them a go. But like I say, it might take some playing about with the setup. Now I'm going to apologise for this camera angle. It's definitely not the best, but we're trying to keep as many people out of the video as possible, and we're just doing some leg extensions here, some tempo leg extensions. We're having to use a cable machine because today I was training at the Hallamshire Tennis and Scotch Club, which is a gym that I PT at, and they don't have a leg extension, so we're just using the cable machine. It was a very different experience to using a normal leg extension machine, as especially when you get into the top, there was real force of the cable trying to pull your leg back down, which made the tempo really hard. It meant that I was actually only doing this on a really light weight, but we're still feeling the blood pumping and getting that benefit of the quads. This is only something that I like to do at like the start of a block, just to get some size back in my quads before focusing mainly on the hamstrings, as hamstrings are usually the overlooked muscle in the body. We then finished off with some Cossack squats. So these are really good for working your adductors, a point that's usually weak in a lot of people's movements, and something that I'm definitely working on. We just started really light here. We just did 10 kilos on my back and just moving 9 to side and 10 side. So although it was light, I really felt these the next day, and shows it's an area that I need to work on. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions about any of the training that I've done here, or any questions about your own training or how I could help you improve, do feel free to use the link below and message me on my Instagram, or leave a comment in the comment section below. But guys, if you like the video, do remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.